Happy New Year! Yeah! Tim Sykes here. How's it going? I'm excited for this year. We're going to make this the best year ever, not just in terms of monetary profits, but knowledge account profits, growing your knowledge account so that you're not confused, so that you're more comfortable trading and you take better trades. This is the first video lesson of the new year. I know that the stock market is closed tomorrow, so don't freak out. I'm not like changing the stock market hours. I just want you to start getting prepared ahead of time. Even on long holiday weekends where I know you don't want to think about the market, I'm going to try to force you to because I want you to think of yourself kind of like a professional athlete. Professional athletes, they do great in the games. It's fantastic. The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. But if they want to work on their games and their skills, they work on it in the off season. So I want you to start thinking about these long weekends and any weekends really, and at night, every night, as the off season where you can work on your game and you can get better. So if you understand that, leave a comment below with the word off season. OFFSEASON, all one word. I want you to start practicing in the off season. I don't want you coming to the market right at 9:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time when the market opens and being like, okay, guys, what's hot? Prepare, prepare, prepare in the off season. And speaking of prepare, that is what my trader checklist guide is all about. 7 key indicators. If you add them up, they spell the word prepare. Do not worry. This guide will be free for another few days. Some of you have been emailing me, contacting me frantically saying, I'm not done with all 11 hours. Please don't cut it off. Don't worry, you have my sympathies. I don't want you to burn out. I don't want you staying up all night. You have a few more days into the new year before it goes premium. But please do watch all 11 hours in the next few days. It's not bad for you. It's good for you. I'm like your mom trying to get you to eat broccoli or Brussels sprouts or go vegan. It's healthy for you. Also, this sale that we have on Profitly, do not worry. Some of you guys have been contacting me. Tim, I get my paycheck in a few days, please. Don't worry, okay? I understand. I want you to get these savings. I want you to invest in your education into annual subscriptions only. We do not reward monthly subscribers because if you're in this game for life, which you should be because it can change your life, if you're a lifetime student, and lifetime student means many different things to many different people. But if you study for at least a year or two, that's a good lifetime of your education. I'm not saying that you have to study for 50, 60, 100 years. That's crazy, right? I mean, if you don't get everything that I teach in year 1, year 2, year 3, forget about it, okay? Year 3, cut yourself off because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what you're doing wrong. But after year 3, you should get it. And the markets don't change that much, and the patterns don't change that much. But year 1, year 2, give me some time. Start having some more patience. And that is what the sale is. Take advantage of it. Now, I want to talk about today's video. And also, I want you watching this entirely all the way through. I see many of you guys are cutting it off. I have a little special surprise at the end of this video if you watch it all the way through. But here is VBIO. This is my play over the weekend, and I have 6 other stocks that I'm watching, but this is the only one that I'm in. I was trying not to trade on Friday because going into the new year, I rebalanced my portfolios. I'm trading with a $5,000 account at E-Trade and a $1 million account at Interactive Brokers. I'll go into details in that in a few more videos, but right now I just want to talk about the watch list. But having that mentality of not looking to trade and not wanting to trade really helped me stay focused. And even though I was watching the markets, I'm like, I'm not going to trade, I'm not going to trade, I'm not going to trade. But when a good trade pops up, it's kind of difficult to ignore it. I don't want you to say, oh, Tim told me not to trade. I want you thinking that you're not going to trade. But if a great pattern appears and good risk reward appears, it's very difficult not to trade because it's kind of like finding free money on the sidewalk. Nothing is guaranteed, obviously. I could be wrong on any play, but when there's a good pattern and it's a good market to trade in like we have right now, I don't know how to avoid it, you know? I say don't be a degenerate. I'm a degenerate myself, okay? So this is my first trade of the new year. It's an overnight position. You can see here, this is a 15-day chart. By the way, I'm using Stocks to Trade nonstop. The other platforms that I've used in the past is just when I haven't had good Wi-Fi or I've been in a rush. I'm always using Stocks to Trade every single day for my scans, for my charts, for my level 2. Now for my fundamental analysis, we have that stuff too. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on Stocks to Trade. I gave you a video a few days ago from the lead trainer of Stocks to Trade, which is Tim Bowen, and he makes roughly 50 grand a year part-time trading, but now he's really helping build out Stocks to Trade. This is the platform that you have to be on, especially 2 weeks from now, January 15th, when we have paper trading integration, where you can practice using basically fantasy cash. It's like fantasy sports, and you can practice in real time. I know that there's some paper trading solutions out there. They're not real time. You can't practice on 15 or 20 minutes delayed data. That's not going to help you become a good trader. That's going to help you earn these brokers' commissions, and that's all they care about. I don't have a broker. I don't want you inflating all your commissions. In fact, brokers hate me because I say don't trade as much as you think that you should. But paper trading is good practice. It's not the full education. You know, real money adds a little more to your psychological education. But at the same time, if you don't want to risk any money while you're learning, that's fine. So this is Stocks to Trade. I guess I should have made this screen a little bigger. But you can see everything. This is the chart of VBIO, and this is what made me buy. So I'm always looking back at past resistance levels. I'm looking back to see where could there be resistance, where could there be breakouts. I'm looking for these key breakout points, as I talk about in Trader Checklist, in Penny Stocking Part 2, Penny Stocking Framework, Tim Tactics, Tim Raw, Short Stocking, every single freaking DVD, every single video lesson. I don't want to just trade a stock randomly. I want to do it at a key point. I could be wrong, where I think I'm buying a breakout and I get stuffed and I'm just buying a fake out, but at least I go in with a plan. Too many of you I see just buying at random places, and you're like, oh, this is a good company. Oh, I have a gut feeling. No, be disciplined. So looking back at this chart over the past 15 days, which is a great chart, by the way. This is, you know, a chart straight out of Penny Stocking Framework, as several students pointed out. This thing just a few days ago was at $1.45, went all the way up to $4, came down to the low twos. Remember, I was dip buying it in here at $2.12. That was actually a pretty good entry, as it turned out. Now it's close to $3. So what do you do now? Normally, I don't like buying mid-range stocks. You know, the bottom of the range is 150. The top of the range is 4. It's like when I was buying it, it was at 270-ish. So literally $1.30 off the highs and $1.30 off the lows. Some of you have emailed me saying, hey, Tim, why are you buying a stock mid-range? I don't mind buying a stock mid-range if it breaks a key resistance level. And the key resistance level on this was the former high right here, was 270. Okay? And it's not a coincidence that on Friday it spiked up to 290, which is also a little resistance level. This is where the resistance was on the last bounce attempt on, what was that, Wednesday? So 290 and 270 are key resistance levels. This is where the bounce failed. This is where the spike failed. And then also a little lesser resistance here at 250. 250, 270, and 290. It needs to get above that or uptrending in the right direction for me to even buy it. Because frankly, it's just going to be resistance. When I was dip buying it here at the 212s, I saw the resistance at 250. So I thought that was the maximum upside. I didn't know it was going to keep breaking out. But the reason why I bought this is, look at this high right here, 270, okay? And it spiked to 290, and then all day, even though it was up a lot and the overall markets were down, this held 270. That is a very good sign. It's very simple. This is how I determine my stocks. I know some people say it's too simplistic. Keep it simple. KIS. Simple works. Not to mention that also this stock out of the past 6 trading days has had, or out of the past 7 trading days, has had morning spikes 6 out of 7. So when I'm buying in the afternoon like I did on Friday, yes, it closed nicely. Whether it closed at 270, 280, 293, I don't care. It's already trending in the right direction. It's holding its gains. And 6 out of 7 of the last trading days, it has morning spiked. I'm very proud that it actually went to 295.3 because now it looks like It's a breakout above the morning highs at 285-ish. It looks like it's a breakout above here at 290-ish. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to the 3s, maybe even retest 4. Now, I'm not going to hold it till 4 because I'm in the mid 2s. I don't care if it goes to 390, 380, 370, 350, 330, even 3 or 320. Okay? The whole point of this is trying to position yourself while not wasting a day trade. Because for me, I only bought 1,300 shares. This entire video lesson, the entire alert, just me sending out a video lesson and me paying for the amount of money it costs to send out an email alert and text message alert is more money than I will probably make or lose on this trade. Just to keep things in perspective. That's why I'm proud to trade with just a $5,000 account to show you how to grow a small account. I specifically held this stock overnight so that it does not count against me for the PDT rule. And this will be exited no matter what it does tomorrow. The good news is, again, it's morning spiked. Friday's morning spike was from the low 2s to the high 2s. I mean, we're talking 70 cents a share. Even on Thursday's morning panic at first, as you saw, it went all the way down to 190 and bounced to 250, all within the first half hour or 45 minutes. So it spiked roughly 60 cents. This was the one day it did not morning spike because, frankly, it was overextended from the 1s to the 4s. But aside from that, this day, morning spike from 250 and in the first hour or two up to the low 3s, 70 cents a share. So this was a 70 cents a share morning spike. This was like a 60 cents a share morning spike. This was a 70 cents a share morning spike. I don't mind a little consolidation, but just even 3 out of the past 4 days, you have 70 cent a share morning spikes. I would love to see a 70 cent a share morning spike tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe it'll be smaller. This one, before the big run up here, the morning spike was from 2 to like 250. So this was only like 50 cents. This morning spike was only from like 175, well, to get up to 211. So this was like 40 cents. And this morning spike was from like 145 to 175. So 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, 70 cents, no morning spike, 60 cents, 70 cents. I like my odds. That's the main thing here. This is a trade and a strategy and a pattern right out of my penny stocking framework DVD. I mean, you can look at it from many different time frames. This could be out of penny stocking framework. This is a classic number 5. And I'm very glad that you guys are seeing it. Just a few students. Look at this. Brandon, he's being sarcastic. Almost like it's predictable. And he's showing the resistance from Thursday at 250. You can see the breakout here above 250. And it actually even came back to 250. There were 2 different opportunities to buy it at 250. That's freaking awesome. Also, Steven Johnson, one of my upcoming students, he's now using stocks to trade, and he's seeing the patterns better. He researched, guess what, my penny stocking framework DVD, and he gets it. He made, not even that much, just a small gain, but it's good for his confidence, and it's good for seeing what you can do. And he made, 73 bucks. And then also, Calder Quacks here, he held it so that he didn't waste a day trade, and he made, roughly 40 cents a share. Not bad, 20% in one day. So focus on these patterns that are gimmies. I don't understand why some of you guys are trading like these choppy stocks. I don't know what a choppy stock is going to do. All I can do is focus on patterns that I know. And dip buying right in here when there's support, especially on a stock that's recently been uptrending on huge volume, this is good risk reward. And I would love to see this to go to the low 3s or the mid 3s or even the high 3s. And we'll find out quickly. Tomorrow. This is I'm specifically aiming for a morning spike. I'm also watching CETX. This is another good chart pattern. This one's a little tougher because it's a little higher priced, but just look. Again, basic technical analysis works. The previous high right here was 660, okay? And when it had that initial earnings win right here, where did it stop for 2 days? 650. And this one's tough because it's an earnings winner, but it's also a pump. So it's like, do you want to trust it? Is it really that good? I don't know. All I do know now is, and I missed this, the breakout at 660 was nice, and it got all the way up to the 750s. And then on Friday, you also had another chance to buy it in the 660s, 670s. Look what it got down to, 665, and it really bottomed here at 670 before rebounding late day. Look back at past resistance levels. look at these breakout levels. 660, 670 is a key breakout level for CETX. On VBIO, 260, 270 was the big breakout level. So if it's holding just above that, that's very good. I saw some people in other chat rooms wanted to short it in here because, it was down from 740. Here it is in the mid sevens, high sevens. And they're like, oh, it's a failed morning spike. This pump is over. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it might be over, but why would you want to buy a stock that's holding above a key breakout level? And these people in these other chat rooms, they don't know about it. They don't respect it. It blows my mind. And they got squeezed. And then, they were totally silent. They're talking. It's kind of funny in these chat rooms and on social media. Everyone's like, oh, let's short it. It's a short. It's a short. And then it keeps going up. And then there's total silence. They think that people don't realize this. They think that they can just say short and then never talk about it again. Hello, we see you. I used to be on a message board called thelion.com, and it was a great message board for these hot little stocks, but some of the biggest people who would post on there, they would post, oh, I'm buying this stock, I love it, it's amazing, it's great. And then sometimes the stock would drop or do nothing, and they would never talk about it again. They would never talk about their exits. They would never talk about what happened. And it's like, who do you think you're fooling, okay? Maybe you're fooling some of these total idiots who don't realize the game, but this is why we created Profitly. This is why I'm so focused on transparency. If you talk about entering a stock, you better fucking talk about your exit on the stock. Otherwise, I don't believe a word that you say, because guess what? There's a lot of people who only post a screenshot here or there. Look at this. Look at my execution. Look at my entry. Oh, yeah. And then never talk about it again. Or they talk about their exit and they don't post, their specific exit with the screenshot or the profit and loss. God forbid, talking about how much money you make or lose in the market. Oh, God, it's terrible. It is a joke. And I'm so proud of so many of you guys for being totally self-sufficient and totally transparent. We're going to change this game gradually, but it's going to take time. There's a lot of garbage to take out first. Also, got to bring up BCDA. This was a play that actually got alerted to me by one of my challenge students, Mark Crook. He was student of the year last year. That's kind of funny to say. He's made $630,000 or $637,000 now. He actually just updated his total transparent track record. And this one just keeps going. And this is a classic potential short. This is great. Already we had a few green days and there was like a decent little short in here. But the higher it goes, the more of a potential short it is. So watch BCDA. I'm rooting for them. I don't like shorting stocks, at $1 or under $1. I want them to go as high as possible. And also, we have a few January effect plays. INVT was on my watch list a few days ago. You can see it's had a rough road over the past few months, and they're a terrible company. But at the same time, look at this volume on Friday. And it's testing this resistance level. I mean, the resistance really is right here at 80 cents. And, we're at 75. But if this can get above 80 cents, I wouldn't be surprised to see it do, a quick spike to maybe 90 cents or even $1. I wouldn't say, much higher. But, if it goes from 80 cents to $1, that's a nice 20-25% gain. And it needs volume. So, we're watching this. It's a very sketchy play. And it's tough for these, long-term downtrending stocks to kind of invert the probability and flip it. Where normally I want to short this stuff. But right now for these, this 3-week time period, as I explained in Tim Tactics and Tim Raw, you actually want to be long biased on these plays. Because during the January effect, they can really spike. And it's not just low price stocks. Here's SHLD, Sears, and they got some financing. Again, terrible price action, terrible company in terrible shape. But at the same time, look at the volume, and it's trying to make a comeback. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this one try to go up to like maybe 10. I don't think there's that much, left. It's not a volatile stock, and it's a little high price for me. But I'm still watching it because it's a potential January effect spiker. January effect is all about beating down stocks. It doesn't matter if it's a $9 stock or a $1 stock. MRNS, also, they got a nice little contract on Friday. And you can see the huge volume, and it's trying to spike up. Kind of a similar play to INVT. I'm not going to chase it. I warned that there was a double top in the morning at 115-ish. But it's a potential buy, potential spiker if the volume stays. And then also SPCB. Oh, this one was the one with a contract. My bad. And this one has a tough resistance, all in the mid threes. So it's a nice volume spike with a nice deal, but it's going to be tough. Okay, so you have to watch out. This is why I don't like trading these stocks with these resistance levels, all around their current price. Like, where's it going to go? I learned that the hard way last week, dip buying MARK, and I was wrong. So anyways, the main two stocks that I'm watching, or the main three stocks: BCDA, potential short because it looks like it's going supernova. So the higher the better. CETX, I'm watching, it was a really nice midday dip buy. And on this one, I kind of wish I can go back in time and say, hey, I was going to trade, but I really wasn't looking to trade. And then also it's kind of like this conflict with me because, I like dip buying morning panics, but this was kind of like midday when it really dropped. And then also this has been pumped in the past. So it's not a pure like earnings winner like I like. So I'm watching it, but for me, I think this is more just a good lesson. And then VBIO is a good lesson, and I think that this is a good first green day. Last time it had a big green day with big volume, it had 4 green days in a row. I doubt that it can break 4. Sometimes these things double top, and I doubt that this will have, another 4 green days, although it could happen. Doesn't matter to me. All I'm in for is ideally the morning spike tomorrow. Again, the past 6 out of 7 trading sessions, we've had a morning spike. The past 3 out of 4 morning sessions, we've had a morning spike of like 70 cents a share. This was the biggest winner on Friday. Some of you guys are asking still, like, you're not watching my basic videos. Please, please, please watch my How to Make Millions guide. Okay, it is right here. It's 70% off. It's all for charity. And you guys helped me raise over $2 million for charity. And I have a very nice upcoming announcement regarding my charity in the next few days. And you're going to be very proud. And I'm very proud. But please watch it, not even just for the charity, but just because it goes over the basics and it's comprehensive. And some people like to rip on education because they're freaks and they're sick in the head. But for me, it's all about helping you build a foundation of education, a foundation of understanding what is trading, how do you actually profit, what are the good chart patterns versus bad chart patterns, basic technical analysis, explaining why some of these, terrible companies, like VBIO is a terrible company, and why these terrible companies sometimes are buys based on their pattern and price action. And it's tough for me to teach you, and build off anything if you don't have the foundation. If you have a house and it has a shaky foundation or no foundation, it's very tough to build off that. So for me, this is probably the most important project that I've ever worked on, not just for charity, but again, the reviews are awesome and it's comprehensive. And frankly, it's a great deal. So please watch that. But my big announcement that I told you to stay tuned for at the end of this video, which is right now, stay tuned for some very, very cool new features on Stocks to Trade. We're going to be talking about them, not just paper trading, but I can't tease anymore. I'm not even supposed to say anything. My team is probably going to get pissed at me. But we have so many features being built on Stocks to Trade in the next few days, possibly weeks. There's going to be some real game-changing features. And I want you getting on Stocks to Trade, getting comfortable with the platform. Again, this is a foundation, okay? So you're either kind of like with me or not. I know that there's some people that are like, Tim, I'm not sure whether to believe you. I don't know. If you're unsure, please just get out now. Save us both the trouble. Seriously. I'm overwhelmed by people who do want to learn, and I want to focus my time on those people. And, the features that are coming on Stocks to Trade are for people who are willing to be like, okay, Tim, teach me whatever you want. I want to be a 6-figure, 7-figure student. And that is the group of people, and there's a lot of them that I'm talking to. If that doesn't include you, if you're going to be like, I don't know about this, just leave right now. Seriously, do me a favor. Make my 2017 easier. Make your 2017 easier. But if you are on board, please get all the way on board and get Stocks to Trade. We can't offer it any cheaper than we already do. The data game is very expensive. I'm already down 6 figures personally on Stocks to Trade, okay? So it's not like we're making any money on this, but what we can do with this platform is going to be pretty amazing for your education and for your trading this year. I'm really not allowed to talk about the features, but just trust me. A few more days. Give me a few more days. Definitely it's going to happen in January. But you're going to want to stick around because no one has ever built anything like this. There's no other scanner that can compete with our existing features, let alone the upcoming features. We've been working on this for quite a while. So kind of excited. Anyways, I will see you guys in the chat room. Be in the chat room tomorrow. Ideally, like 9 a.m., 9:15 a.m. Eastern if you can. Don't get there like right when the market opens with like 1 minute to go. There might be some more plays that I'll add, based on pre-market spikers and any breaking news. But let's get this, guys. 2017 is going to be great. I'm pumped. And again, if you understand that you should be studying and need to be studying during the holidays, during nighttime, during weekends, type in the comment the word off season. And I want you guys to think of yourselves as professional athletes. That's how we're going to get the best performance out of you. To get actual more millionaire students, I need your help. I can't just give you $1 million. That does nothing. Look at the lotto winners. They're useless. They're unhappy in life. This is about giving you enough knowledge so that you can make your own $1 million. And Stephen Dux, who just passed 630,000 on Friday in profit, started the year with 27,000 last year. So he started in February. So what's that, like 10 months from 27,000 to 630,000? That's awesome. If he sticks with it, and I think that he will after talking with him, he has his, head on straight, not like blowing his money all at once, but actually using his account to bet bigger and scale positions. And guess what? That's how you become a millionaire. So step by step, we're going to do it. You just got to give me time and you need to give me effort. That's what I've learned from my first few millionaire students. What separates them, and Stephen and Mark Crook, who are both around 600,000, so upcoming millionaire students, it's all about practicing in the off season and studying these videos and studying patterns and getting good at that. Okay, it boggles my mind that so many of you trade stocks with terrible patterns, and you're like, why is this not working? Because you're trading random ass patterns, random ass stocks, and you're going to get random ass results with that. I mean, VBIO looks exactly like a chart out of my penny stocking framework DVD. So I could be wrong. Maybe it won't morning spike. I'm perfectly okay with that. I will cut losses quickly if I need to. But at the same time, I know this chart pattern. I see the odds. I have seen this hundreds of times. I've traded it hundreds of times. And as Ray Allen, one of the great NBA greats of all time, two-time NBA winning champion, said, what made him a great athlete and what made him a superstar was boring old habits. He used to take free throw after free throw, practice 3 after 3, not just in games, not just during game time, but in the off season. Not when the TV cameras are rolling, not when there's an official stat tracker, but practice makes perfect. And for you as a stock trader, and for you to become my next millionaire student, practice makes perfect. And that means studying the past and studying the present. This is all, I want you watching all of these stocks from CETX, BCDA, INVT, SHLD, and MRNS. And there's going to be more too. But I want you watching these stocks and see how they do. You see what works. You see what doesn't work. I mean, the January effect usually works pretty much every single year. So we'll see how it's doing this year with some of these plays. And maybe there'll be more plays that are, with terrible long-term charts that are spiking pre-market tomorrow morning. You need to be a scientist and you need to test. You're a scientist and a professional athlete. I didn't say this was going to be easy, okay? Professional athletes are gifted physically. A lot of them are just naturals. They don't even need to practice. There is nothing natural about trading. I've never met a natural trader, ever. And if I did, I would be scared. Because if they didn't practice and they have all that talent, they could easily blow up. Jesse Livermore, arguably the greatest trader of all time, blew up several times because he was, quote, a natural trader. But he didn't follow his rules. He didn't have discipline. So if the greatest trader of all time can blow up, anybody can blow up. And to prevent that, you must study. You must build your educational foundation. You must use tools like Stocks to Trade. You must study the past. I have thousands of video lessons, and You Challenge students have hundreds of webinars archived, not just from me, but Mark Crook, Tim Grittani, Michael Good. I know Tim Grittani has been away for the past few weeks, and some people are like, what's going on? I'm freaking out. He's living. He just moved down to the Caribbean with his new wife. Give him some time, okay? He's a new millionaire enjoying himself for a little bit. But You Challenge students have 4 dozen webinars. 4 dozen webinars, okay? 4 dozen webinars of Mark Crook to go through. And you need to study the past. I know you only want to focus on current stuff, but study Tim Grittani's DVD right here, Trading Tickers. That'll help you too. Anyways, this is getting a lot longer, but it kills me when you guys aren't on the right track. And so many of you have so much potential, and I want 2017 to be the best year. So it's not just about watching stocks. It's about watching stocks, having the right attitude, studying the past, boring old habits, practicing, testing, being a scientist, putting it all together. And once you do put all that together, I know it sounds like a lot, but it is achievable. It's not random that more and more of my students are earning 6 and 7 figures. It's going to keep happening. So if I can get through to just one of you watching it, then this video and this rant will have been worth it. But those are the 7 stocks. Watch them. These are the DVDs. Watch them. Trader Checklist is free for a few more days, 11 hours. You go to traderchecklist.com, watch it, and I'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Thank you.